The action of 7 October 1795 was a naval engagement of the French Revolutionary Wars, during which a French squadron led by Rear Admiral Joseph de Richery captured a large British convoy of 31 merchant vessels. The British convoy, escorted by 3 ships of line and several frigates under Commodore Thomas Taylor, sailed from Gibraltar and were intercepted on 7 October by a French squadron, one of the 2 who managed that year to evade the British blockade of Toulon. During the action, the French ships captured a British 74-gun ship of line and all but 1 merchantman. Shortly after, they bore his prizes triumphantly in Cadiz. Strangely, it was not until 1812 when the Royal Navy decided to increase the number of his escort vessels. Engagement. On the morning of 7 October, off Cape St. Vincent, the British Mediterranean Fleet, which consisted of about 30 merchant ships richly laden sailing to Great Britain and convoyed by the ships of line HMS Censor, HMS Bedford, HMS Fortitude and 4 frigates under Commodore Thomas Taylor's command, fell in with a French fleet led by Rear Admiral Joseph de Richery, consisting of 6 ships of line and 3 frigates. This fleet, which was being pursued unsuccessfully since 2 days before by a squadron of equal force sent by Admiral Hotham, had been dispatched in mid-September by the French Admiralty from Toulon to sail to Newfoundland to attack the British fishing industry, and came across with the British fleet. As soon as the French fleet was sighted, Commodore Taylor made the signal for the convoy to disperse and ordered his ships to form a line of battle to allow time for the merchant vessels to escape. The French frigates were dispatched to prevent its escape, and they succeeded in capturing almost all of the convoy. During the engagement, HMS Censor lost her topmasts, and with no possibility of escape, she struck her colours to 3 French ships of line which had cut off her retreat. HMS Bedford and HMS Fortitude, with the other warships, managed to escape. Aftermath. Several days later, the French fleet triumphantly entered the Spanish port of Cadiz. 30 merchantmen, the entire convoy with the exception of a single vessel, had been captured, and the 74-gun ship of line Censor, taken by the British 5 months before during an action off Genoa, had been recaptured. The damage inflicted to the British commerce by this action, together with other attacks against British merchant convoys near Jamaica and off Rochefort, was heavy. Between 1793 and 1801, the French captured 5,557 British merchant vessels, inflicting desperate losses to Great Britain and forcing the British to sail in convoy and patrol the regular routes to avoid heavier losses. Bibliography. Cust, Edward. Annals of the Wars of the 18th Century, compiled from the most authentic histories of the period, 1783 to 1795. Mitchell's Military Library. Casteck, Jean-Claude. Dictionnaire des batailles navales franco-anglaises. Presses Université Laval. ISBN 978-2-7637-8061-0. Kippish, Andrew. The New Annual Register, or General Repository of History, Politics, and Literature for the year. Printed for G.G.J. and J. Robinson. Dull, Jonathan. The Age of the Ship of the Line. The British and French Navies, 1650–1815. U of Nebraska Press. ISBN 978-0-8032-1930-4. James, William, Chamere, Frederick. The Naval History of Great Britain, from the declaration of war by France in 1793, to the accession of George IV, Volume 1, R. Bentley, Young, Charles Duke. The History of the British Navy, from the earliest period to the present time, Volume 1, R. Bentley. Corvisier, André, Childs, John. A Dictionary of Military History and the Art of War. Wiley Blackwell. ISBN 978-0-631-16848-5. Bataille navales de la France. Onésime Joachim Trauder. Chalamelanie Acute, 1867, Volume 2. 437.